It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
Hi everybody, what do you do during these hot dog days of summer in the great Southwest when it's triple-digit temperatures in the daytime? You do what I'm about to do. You go fishing out there in the dark at night. And as you can see, it's no long sleeves, no wide brim hat, no sunscreen, no sunglasses. All of that stuff is gone because we're going to be fishing during the coolest part of a 24-hour period right during the middle of the night. Welcome to Cedar Creek Lake, located just north of Malakoff, Texas. We're down in the area near the dam. We're going to be searching around for some lighted boat docks, and while I'm doing that, we're going to be giving you some tips and tactics that you can use on your favorite lake right through the heat of the summer to escape the heat, get out at night, and catch a few fish of your very own. We're also taking you around the region in the next half hour for your very latest fishing reports from our team of reporters, starting down on the Texas Gulf Coast with Bill Olson, Brian Hughes in Texas Freshwater, Cajun Phil and Kevin in Louisiana, and Gary Dallahan up in Oklahoma. Also a little later on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, we'll be showing you another night fishing hotspot where you can catch some largemouth bass without lighted boat docks. We'll show you a place where that can be done. We'll also have the Ask the Pro, the Big Catch of the Week photos, the Academy Right Stuff, tell you the equipment you'll need to night fish, and much more. But first, we take you back to the FSN studios. Here's your Chevy Weekend Planner.
The weekend fishing tables indicate the prime fishing times will begin around sunrise and a little before sunset on both Saturday and Sunday. The sun will rise at 6:25 and set at 8:39, and evenings will showcase a crescent moon 44% illuminated. Stay with us, we're coming right back with all of your fishing updates from around the Southwest.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors. Buy quality award-winning Tracker boats. Fish the finest. Lawrence, maker of the HDS, high definition systems, and Academy, right stuff, low price, every day.
Got one. Hey, we got something out here in the dark. Welcome back everybody, your Southwest Outdoors Report. Cedar Creek Lake today, doing a little night fishing in the hot summertime. What have I got? Boy, that's one of the cool things about night fishing is you never know what you've got. It's a bass, largemouth bass. Slipping. All right, look at there. Hey, wow. Well, you know, this lake has got largemouths, white bass, crappie, and hybrid stripers all in it, and you never know what you're liable to catch. Now let's talk about the very first thing, and I'll show you several different ones a little later, but I love to fish dark colored baits at night, whether you fish a spinner bait, plastic worm, that's a little crappie jig. I always want to fish something dark. Now we don't have any moon out tonight. That's usually a bad thing. You'd rather have the moon out. There's no moon out right now, so we're just fishing in the dark, and you can see back here behind me, we've got several lights back here fishing around the outside rings of some of these lighted boat docks with the halogen lights that shine out over the water. Those attract the bait fish in, and then the game fish follow. All right, we're gonna let him go back. All right, that is a good way to get it going. Haven't been out here long. Hit about 3 boat docks looking for the ones with the deeper water. Let's move along right now and check in with Louisiana. Here's Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Wow, I tell you what, I just spent a couple of days down in Hammond, Louisiana, working at an Academy grand opening. It was so much fun, it was unbelievable. I got to talk to so many fishermen that are letting me know what's happening, and it's crazy right now. You remember just a few weeks ago, probably 4 weeks ago, I crossed Lake Henderson. Remember what it was? High water, muddy water, ugly. Right now, when we crossed, the water was low, pretty, and it was loaded with boats. And I got to talk to a couple of fishermen there at the Academy in Hammond, and they said, Cajun, you got to go. It's crazy. All these floating water hyacinths, all they're doing is dropping either a cricket down there and catching big old red-breasted bluegill, dropping live worms down there and catching chickapin. or they're throwing spinner baits or pitching plastic and catching bass. As far as the speckled trout and redfish action, all I can tell you is, friends, from Texas to Mississippi, you got to come down and give it a try. I've talked to about 6 guides this week from Delacroix, Hopedale, Lafitte, Venice, Lake Charles. Everywhere I talk, they're all catching lots of fish. Right now, there's no wind blowing to catch a speckled trout and redfish, and it doesn't matter what you throw or where you go, they are thick and heavy. You want to make a good trip? Contact Cajun Phil. You can email me at cajunphil@hotmail.com or give me a call on my cell, 337-540-5530. You let me know where you want to go. I'll put you in touch with the guides in those areas, and you will catch a fish.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life. By Navionics. Enjoy Navionics anytime, anywhere. By Whataburger, just like you like it. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors.
Fish on. Fish on. Something bit it. What is it? Fighting good. Be a white bass or a big crappie. It's like a big white bass maybe. Yeah, that's what I want. Right there. Hey, there we go. Your Southwest Outdoors Report. Doing a little night fishing and you catch several species. I've been saying that, and I finally managed to catch something else. Been catching quite a few largemouths. There is a Cedar Creek white bass. Good, stocky, hard fighting fish. Hey, I've learned something. You know, I mentioned earlier that you want to be looking for the deeper boat docks, and for the most part you do, but I'm learning something, especially on this lake. I'm catching some fish up real shallow. 2.5, 3 feet of water right underneath these docks that you can see behind me. Got, again, several lighted boat docks here, and the depth seems to be somewhat irrelevant. I will tell you that Cedar Creek Lake is about 4 or 5 feet low right now, but you can throw a little spinnerbait, black in color, or a little plastic worm, or a little black grub, that's a little Bobby Garland jig, up around these lights, and even in shallow water, you can still catch some fish. So they're in all depths. It's the light that really matters. A lot of bait fish flipping up here under these lights. Let's check in right now with Gary Dollahan in Oklahoma.
The blue-green algae on Grand Lake dominated the news in Oklahoma this past 4th of July weekend with an advisory there to stay out of the water. You'll want to pay attention to blue-green algae problems throughout these hot summer months and those advisories, but really the summer here in Oklahoma is a great time to catch bass, and I really like to do that open water, deep structure fishing. Also found out that Bobby Myers, local pro tournament angler, likes to do that as well. He spent several days on Lake Eufaula. Here's his report from there.
What I found at Lake Eufaula is throwing 12-inch El Salto worms on and near the main river channel. What I looked for to locate was ledges. I was trying to concentrate on ledges in 10 to 12 feet of water out to as deep as 18 feet. In those same areas, I was throwing a fat-free shad as well as a DD22. This is a great pattern to use throughout the whole state of Oklahoma to find and locate bass during the hot times of the year. Another thing you could also try is flipping docks early and late in the afternoons when they get the most shade under them. Those also will hold lots of fish. Sand bass are also coming up early in the morning and late in the evening. Try to locate areas where it's close to the main river channel and find the bait, and you'll find the white bass schooling up. These are my hot tips for Oklahoma. Have a great weekend.
There's something hit it. Fighting like a white. Oh yes, Mr. Whitey. All right, well, we've got the fish working out here. Got several species. Let me tell you a little trick. Golly, I dropped it. Man, he is a feisty dude right there. White bass, back he goes. Tell you one little trick about night fishing. I've discovered, after doing this a little bit, that you can still watch your line, and watching your line to me is critical for detecting a strike. And you can do that if you'll use a clear blue fluorescent line. That line with a little bit of fluorescent in it picks up on the little bit of available light, reflects off of it, and you can see this line real well. So this is Stren Original clear blue fluorescent. That's the key, and it lets you be a line watcher out here to watch every strike you get, even though it's dark. It's really neat to watch. All right, stay with us. When we come back, Brian Hughes is up next with your Texas freshwater fishing and lake reports, and Bill Olson is way down on the Texas Gulf Coast with your saltwater reports.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Academy. Right stuff, low price, every day. Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. Costa Del Mar Sunglasses. See what's out there. And by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
There's one. Coming at the boat. Coming at the boat. What is it? White bass. All right. Hey, that's a yellow bass. That's a big yellow bass too right there. Caught several yellow bass. Well, I can't tell. It's so dark out here. Maybe we can tell at home, but that looks like a yellow bass species, and they don't, in fact, that's a huge one if it's a yellow right there. They're, I believe, actually a member of the perch family. But anyway, got fish working out here once again right underneath these lights in real shallow water. Hey, what makes fish bite at night like this so much better than in the day? In the daytime, the pressure's high, the sun's high, the light penetrates deep into the water. These fish will run to deep water, they'll suspend up off the bottom, and they will not feed. They won't eat. You can pull a lure right by their face and they will not bite it. However, when the light goes away, they're much less intimidated to come up shallow. The oxygen content in the water actually rises, the surface temperature drops, and all those factors combine to mean the bait fish move very shallow, and you can just see minnows and shad flipping everywhere on the surface of the water. And guess what? The game fish will be right behind them. I really do believe that is a big yellow bass, and that's really a monster for a yellow. All right, we'll let him go back, and we're going to introduce you right now to my buddy Brian Hughes. See what's going on in Texas freshwater fishing.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the Ultimate Summer Boat and Outdoor Show. Now on Lake Livingston, guide Simon Cosper says hybrids are just going crazy. Fish the flat areas out from Pine Island and use either topwaters or slab style spoons, or of course live bait. Now for bass on Livingston, Simon advises that you fish boat docks, and you'll need to look for the deeper docks. Many of our lakes in Texas are low right now, and a lot of boat docks don't have enough water underneath them to hold the fish. When you find those deeper docks, you'll want to use deep diving crankbaits, jigs, and or Texas rigged worms and lizards in order to get underneath that dock where the bass are hiding. And finally, on the Lake of the Pines, crappie are hanging out near the bridge pilings. You'll want to use either chartreuse, red, or cinnamon colored crappie jigs, or of course, minnows or other live bait. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the Ultimate Summer Boat and Outdoor Show. Be sure and check the website for your discount coupon. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island. Surrounded by pristine bays, estuaries, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico, Port A is truly the fishing capital of Texas. Come fish, golf, and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, winds continue to be a constant topic along the Texas coast. In fact, some anglers that trailer their boats are choosing where they fish based on the forecasted wind direction and velocity. It seems we're in a weather pattern where on part of the coast we'll have light to moderate winds, while another portion will have stronger winds. Now, when the winds have been light, Mid-Bay Reefs and East Galveston Bay and East Matagorda Bay have allowed anglers to catch good speckled trout on live shrimp under popping corks. Also on light wind days, the surf continues to give up good fish along the beachfront. A variety of soft plastics and spoons are catching fish. Now, favorable conditions are allowing anglers to make drifts over deeper shell reefs on Sabine Lake, as well as chase birds. The north end of Sabine Lake has been very productive. Nueces Bay reefs are also giving up good speckled trout around its reefs on live croaker. Out of Port Isabel, the deeper end of Longbar is giving up quality specks. Redfish are also schooling with snook active in South Bay. This weekend, Saturday has a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides. This Sunday has a single tide schedule of 1 high and 1 low. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Hey, we're catching fish tonight at Cedar Creek under lighted boat docks. However, you do not have to have light from docks in order to catch bass around the Southwest at night. One good location that's a great example is Sam Rayburn over in Deep East Texas. I'm going to show you an area where you can catch some bass at night and there are no lighted boat docks. Let's go to the Lowrance HDS10, the beautiful screen there. It shows up really good at night. Now, as you can see, Sam Rayburn is located just east of Lufkin, Texas. And we're going to highlight a good area to fish at night on the southwest shoreline along this area. There are a couple of good reasons. Number one, it's protected from any south wind, and you don't have to make any long runs to fish this entire area. We switched to the Navionics Hot Maps Platinum chart for all the great detail. We zoomed to that same area from Caney Creek on the north here to Sandy Creek on the south. You can see lots of creeks, ditches, and coves along a couple of mile stretch here. There are plenty of good bass fishing areas, and we zoom to just one of these, the Caney Creek area. Now that lake is 9 feet low right now, so these depths are shallower than indicated here. There are good flats in the back of the creek here with some scattered vegetation. Good creek ditches are here, and a good flat point that runs way out in the lake here. You can catch bass on a black spinnerbait or a black buzzbait in this area. It's a good spot at Sam Rayburn. That's this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have your Ask the Pro question and answer, the Academy Right Stuff, and your big fish photos on the big catch of the week.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Stren, the standard of dependability, by Jean LaRue Lures and Bobby Garland Baits, quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors, and Mercury Marine.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Ask the Pro feature. Our question this week is from Connie in Irving, Texas, who writes, what determines blade selection when fishing with a spinnerbait? For the answer, let's ask Bassmaster Elite Angler Terry Butcher of Oklahoma.
I keep it pretty simple on blade selection, you know, and in muddy water I'm going to throw a Colorado or Indiana blade just because it gives off a more of a thump. It's a slower, it gives you a slower presentation. You can reel it a lot slower, and it just gives off more of a vibration in dirty water. Now, in more of a clear water, I'm going to go with a willow leaf blade. Probably a double willow leaf blade, because when you're reeling, you can reel it a lot faster when you got a double willow leaf. It just comes through the water better, and you can burn it more with that. You know, in that type of situation where I'm wanting to burn, I'm going to go with a double willow.
Thank you, Terry. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Click on the Ask the Pro link and send us your information. Now let's get you over to Barry for the Whataburger Big Catch of the Week.
Oh, golly, something just nailed me out there in the dark. What is it? Good grief. It's a largemouth. It's a largemouth. Got him. All right. Man, we've had a good night out here. That's just all there is to it. We've caught everything except hybrids, and I thought we would catch a hybrid, and we haven't caught a crappie. But we've caught just about everything else, and it's been a fantastic night of it right here. And there's one more largemouth bass for you right out there in the pitch dark. Let him go back. All right, see you, partner. All right, well, we've had a good night. It's time to wrap it up, and it's time right now to congratulate this week's Big Catch of the Week winner. She is Narcy Alvarado of Pasadena, Texas, showing off a 24-inch speckled trout she caught out of Trinity Bay on the Texas Gulf Coast. And one note, look at the broken rod on the left-hand side of the photo. She broke that rod trying to get this monster speckled trout into her net. Congratulations. And if you'd like to enter the contest, go to our website, southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Top right-hand corner of the front page is everything you'll need to register. It's free. And once you do, you can send us a photo, ask us a question on the Ask the Pro, read my weekly blog, and much more. Time right now for the Academy Right Stuff, and here's what you'll need to catch these fish at night on your favorite lake. I like to go with a little heavier rod. This is a 6.5 foot Abu Garcia Veritas rod. I use a medium action. I don't go with a little wimpy rod. Some backbone at night. You never know what you're going to hook out here in the dark. You can get away with a little heavier line. This is Stren Original 10-pound test. Normally, I don't go above 6 pound when I'm using a little spinning rig. And for a bait, I used one bait all night long. That is the Bobby Garland Moglow jig head with the black and red slab slayer body in the larger size. I believe it's 3-inch. Hey, I want to mention next week's showtime. We're on at a special time next Thursday night, 8 p.m. before the Texas Rangers baseball game. And you can always watch our show 24/7 at the website. You can watch last week's episode. You can watch all the past episodes on our YouTube channel at youtube.com. And don't forget to go to Facebook for lots of content that you'll never see here on the television show. Thanks for joining us from Cedar Creek Reservoir. Till next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.